Me, 22F, with my boyfriend, 24M, and his personal boundaries with his work girlfriend, 21F. Throw away as I don't want this on my usual account. My boyfriend and I have been together for about a year and a half now. We met at work, hit it off great, and are now living together. We work for the same company, but at different locations. We generally have a good relationship, fights here and there like all couples, but have been going through a bit of a rough patch lately due to finances from moving in and whatnot. Although, my problem lies within his work girlfriend. My company have several locations, and he is an assistant manager that floats from location to location whenever someone calls in sick. But he is based out of this particular store and works there 3 out of his 5 days. About a month ago, this girl transferred in from a different state into his base store. She works with him on 3 days that he is in the store, so they see each other often and for long periods of time. Generally, it's usually just them two and an additional person working. They test each other sometimes, but it has been usually about work related things, and lately, when I go on his messages, we're pretty lax about phones with each other. I see them talking about other things like hobbies and the things of the like. It didn't bother me because I understood that she was new to the state, and from what he told me, she didn't really know anyone besides the coworkers at that store. Until I realized that he downloaded Snapchat and that she was his number one best friend and that they were on an 8 day snapping streak. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm a huge Snapchatter. I mostly only use Snapchat for social media, and I've been begging him for the longest time to download it, only to have him tell me that it was a waste of time, and then I see that he downloaded it for her. When I confronted him about it, he shrugged it off and said it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't want to push the issue because we have been going through a tougher time lately, and I didn't want to make it worse than it already has been. I thought that I was being insecure because she is honestly stunning, so maybe it was a bit of jealousy behind it. Today I saw her name pop up on his phone, and when I opened the message, I saw that he agreed to pick her up from the airport on Sunday. We made plans to go to my family's party on Sunday, and it's about an hour and a half away from the airport. He said he was planning to leave my family's early so that he could pick her up and they could hang out afterwards. When I asked him about it, he said once again that he didn't think it was that big of a deal because she has no romantic interest in him, and that he was being nice by hanging out with her because she's new and that I was overreacting. I'm livid. Am I wrong here? No. If anything, I feel like you're underreacting. Like, he's I'm okay, like, even if they were just a friend and they were, like, texting, I could see that. But, like, he downloaded Snapchat for her, that's just, like, kinda weird, I feel like. And the fact that she's, like, according to you, stunning, right? I mean, I wouldn't want another girl taking pictures of my boyfriend or taking pictures for my boyfriend if I was you, right? I mean, that's kinda weird, I feel like. And even if he's just trying to be nice to her, it's very easy to be nice to someone, but also be like, hey, I can't talk to you that much because, like, I have a girlfriend. So, like, well, I mean, it's not that, like, he couldn't be friends with her, but, like, not to this extent, I feel like. And, like, what the fuck's up with the airport thing, man? She could find another way home. She has a job. She could get an Uber. It might be expensive, but she could get one. And I mean, and using the excuse she doesn't have any friends, like, to help her is kind of stupid because she could make other friends, you know? I mean, I get that it's hard. I'm not very good at making friends. I mean, one of my favorite parts of my day is staring at a screen and reading a Reddit story for you guys, right? So that tells you a lot about me, right? Anyways, let's just get into the update and we'll see what he has to say because I feel like it could be two very polar opposite, like, situations depending on the type of person he is. Update 2 weeks later. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone who read and commented on the post. I read all of them even if I didn't reply. I've been really busy since then, so I didn't have time to update, but some of you guys begged me for one. I sat down with my boyfriend the morning after I posted that and asked him about his relationship with his coworker and how I felt like he wasn't being friendly with her, but overly flirtatious, and that it was weird and suspicious that I saw his text about him picking her up and it did not sit well with me, especially since he never planned on telling me that he was going to leave my family's event early. He looked annoyed, but eventually admitted to me that he developed a crush on her because she was the opposite of me and was really fun and easy to talk to, while I really wasn't. Also, she put effort into her appearance and I didn't. I admit that I got really upset after this and refused to talk to him, so I left and went to my best friend's house after that for the night. He didn't even call or text. My best friend and her boyfriend were freaking amazing. They ordered some wings, told me that they never really liked him because he always seemed lukewarm to me like I was just a friend, and watched some Hulu with me. I remember when I was younger, my mom had gotten out of a really bad relationship and told me to never settle for someone who didn't look at me like I put the stars in the sky. Seeing how amazing and awesome my best friend's boyfriend was to me, even when he could have easily left, and how they were to each other just made me realize I was better off single than to be with someone who would rather put more effort into a crush than into a year and a half live-in relationship. In the morning, I went back and he was sitting on the couch. He asked if I was feeling better and if I still needed more space. I told him that I wanted to break up and that I would be moving out soon. I said that I would pay for my half of next month's rent. He didn't even look fazed. He just nodded and got up to leave. I was trying my absolute hardest to be stoic about it, but it kind of failed after I saw how nonchalant he was. I don't know if he went to pick her up or not, but I went to my family's event and tried to have a good time even with all the questions about where he was. I've been packing and moving back in with my parents during the times I know he's at work. We haven't even talked since besides to talk about financial stuff and housing situations, I have no reason to. I've been fighting the urge to really cuss him out and just to ask why he seems so neutral about this when I've been a huge wreck, but I've always been a firm believer in living well is the best revenge. I've been trying to keep busy to keep my mind off of it, but it sucks sometimes, especially at night. So I haven't dragged this on, it just felt good to get it all out. So, with the comment your friends made, even if they were really trying to make you feel better, it makes me wonder why the guy stayed in this relationship, right? I mean, and the way he acted after the breakup was just like, meh, no, well, too bad. Okay, time to go get Holly Jolly and move on with my day. Like, I'm so confused, man. Like, he just doesn't care about you. So, I'm kind of glad that you broke up with him. Actually, I'm really glad because it just seems like he doesn't care, right? And we have another update, so we'll see what happens there. Update 2, 3 days after that. I really wasn't planning on updating again after that last post, but I had to. I mentioned in the first post that my ex was a floater for a company. Floaters are very common because we have a lot of stores. It turns out that his work girlfriend became one as well, and while I was working, she came in and filled the shift of one of my coworkers. At first, I was planning on just ignoring her except for work related things because I figured from her reaction to me, I didn't think she recognized me or even knew who I was, and I didn't want a confrontation by asking her. But it got slow and we started talking. We were asking general questions about each other, and I mentioned that I had dated Corey, not his real name, and he had worked at her base store. She looked genuinely shocked. She mentioned to me that she had no idea that he had a girlfriend, but that he only had a roommate that worked for the same company, and whenever he referred to my name, she assumed he was referring to the roommate. I didn't get the feeling at all that she would be lying to me about this, and if she is, she should be acting. I was so pissed that I ended up just telling her what was going on and why we broke up. I told her about the Snapchat thing, and she apologized because she didn't know he wasn't that into Snapchat. She showed me her best friends list, and he wasn't even on her list, but there was that face where you're on someone's best friends list, but they're not yours next to his name. Also, she said she asked for everyone's Snapchat because she prefers it over everything, and if they don't have one, she tells them to download it. She has a score of like 30,000 or something equally as large. I told her about the airport thing and how we handled it, and she apologized and said she wouldn't have asked someone's boyfriend had she known he was dating someone. Get this, the only reason she asked my boyfriend was because the guy that she was actually talking to was out of town. She never mentioned that she was dating anyone to him because she doesn't like to talk about her love life that much. But she ended up just asking one of the other coworkers to pick her up. She also mentioned that the reason she became a floater was because another one of the assistant managers at her base store was getting too flirty with her and she didn't like it. She started going off about how she hated guys like Corey and how he would do that to me. She thought he was just being nice to her since she was one of the first people she met since she moved. I can see how she would mistake his flirtatiousness as niceness now that I think about it, since he sucks at it. From my impression of her, I could tell how Corey would take her friendliness as flirty. She was really nice and friendly. I didn't hold any resentment towards her before, but I definitely don't now. Oh, and she's a girl's girl. I almost moved out, and I can feel a lot better about my decision and with the breakup after meeting his work girlfriend. I still haven't talked to him at all. Imagine the girl you're talking to, and she just goes, "Oh yeah, I hate guys like him. Like they need to stop trying to flirt with me," while he's actively trying to flirt with her. Oh my god, I could just imagine Corey begging on his knees to get back with you after he realizes that she doesn't like him. Like, please, OP, please, it was just a mistake. I swear it was just a joke. I was just testing you to see how you react. Like, shut the fuck up, Corey. Corey, just get a life, man. As a matter of fact, get a better life because you need to do better. Like, this girl that you were dating, you did not even deserve her, bro. You didn't deserve the other girl that you were talking to on Snapchat either. But can I say that 30,000 is not a lot of Snap score? Like, I'm pretty sure I have a higher Snap score than 30,000, and I snap about like 3 people. Now, granted, I'm like, you know, young. So like people who are like over the age of like 21 probably don't even use Snapchat anymore because it's just kind of childish. But I still kind of think it's cool to see what people are up to during their days, you know? Because everyone's different. Anyways, let me know what you all think of this story in the comments below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.